It has been 36 years since the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air first aired. The kid who played little Ashley Banks is now 47 years old. Let that sink in. Today, let's slow down, take a trip down memory lane, and see how our favorite stars have grown beautifully in 2026. Kicking off our list at number 1 is the one and only Will Smith. Born on September 25, 1968, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Will was just 21 years old when he first walked into that Bel-Air mansion in 1990. Today, in 2026, he is 57 years old, and time has been so incredibly kind to him. You know, Will wasn't just the main character on a TV show. He was the cool, older cousin we all wished we had. The guy who could make you laugh until your stomach hurt 1 second, and then break your heart with a single tear the next. Remember that scene with his father? You didn't just watch it, you felt it deep inside your chest. Before Fresh Prince, Will had already made a name for himself as one half of the legendary hip-hop duo DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, winning the very first Grammy ever awarded in the rap category back in 1989. The show launched him into superstardom, and from there, he conquered Hollywood. From Independence Day to Men in Black, from The Pursuit of Happiness to his Academy Award win for King Richard in 2022. In 2025, he released a brand new album called Based on a True Story, and his National Geographic docuseries, Pole to Pole, premiered in early 2026 on Disney+. He also executive produced all 4 seasons of Bel-Air, the dramatic reboot on Peacock, which wrapped its final season in December 2025. After 36 years, Will Smith is still here, still shining, still making us believe that a kid from West Philly can do anything, and we love him for that. Coming in at number 2 is the man who gave us one of the most iconic dances in television history, Alfonso Ribeiro. Born on September 21, 1971, in the Bronx, New York, Alfonso was just 19 years old when he first brought Carlton Banks to life. Now, in 2026, he is 54 years old and still carrying that familiar sparkle in his eyes. Carlton wasn't just the funny cousin who danced to Tom Jones. He was the kid who tried so hard to be perfect, the straight-A student, the preppy dresser, the one who just wanted his father's approval. And somehow, through all of that, Alfonso made us see a little piece of ourselves in Carlton. The part of us that sometimes tried too hard, that sometimes felt out of place, but never stopped being who we were. Before Fresh Prince, Alfonso had already been a child star, dancing alongside Michael Jackson in a Pepsi commercial at the age of 13, and starring on the sitcom Silver Spoons. And his career never stopped. He won season 19 of Dancing with the Stars in 2014, proving that the Carlton was just the beginning. Since 2015, he's been the beloved host of America's Funniest Home Videos, and he now co-hosts Dancing with the Stars alongside Julianne Hough. He's married to Angela Unkrich since 2012, and together they have 3 beautiful children. Alfonso Ribeiro didn't just play a character we loved, he became a part of our family. And the joy he brings to our screens hasn't faded one single bit. At number 3, bringing warmth and wonder to our screens, Tatyana Ali. Born on January 24, 1979, in North Belmore, New York, Tatyana was just 11 years old when she joined the Fresh Prince family as little Ashley Banks. In 2026, she is 47 years old, aging with such beautiful grace that it takes your breath away. Ashley Banks was the little sister of the show, curious, sweet, and always looking up to her cousin Will. We watched her grow up right before our eyes, from a shy little girl into a confident young woman. And somehow watching her grow made us feel like we were growing too. She was our mirror. After the show ended, Tatyana didn't just rest on her fame. She released her debut album, Kiss the Sky, in 1998, with the hit single, Daydreamin', reaching number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100. And here's a fact that surprises many people. Tatyana graduated from Harvard University with a degree in African American Studies and Government in 2002. She went on to act in shows like The Young and the Restless and Love That Girl. And in 2023, she returned to the Fresh Prince universe with a recurring role on Bel-Air Season 2. She married Professor Vaughn Raspberry, who teaches English at Stanford University, and they have 2 wonderful sons together. From Sesame Street at age 6 to Harvard at 23, Tatyana Ali's journey is nothing short of extraordinary. If you thought watching little Ashley grow up was something, wait until you see the surprising path our next star chose. It's a story no one saw coming. At number 4 is the woman who gave us the most glamorously hilarious character on the show, Karyn Parsons. Born on October 8, 1966, in Los Angeles, California, Karyn was 23 years old when she first appeared as the fabulous Hilary Banks. In 2026, she is 59 years old and radiating the same effortless elegance she always has. Hilary Banks was the queen of oblivious charm. She said things that made absolutely no sense, and somehow she made them sound absolutely right. She was the one who could make you facepalm and laugh out loud at the same time. But underneath the comedy, Hilary had heart. Remember when she truly cared about her family in quiet moments? That was Karyn shining through. After Fresh Prince ended, Karyn appeared in films like Major Payne and Mixing Nia, but what makes her story truly special is the chapter she wrote after Hollywood. Karyn gracefully stepped away from the spotlight to pursue something deeply meaningful. She founded Sweet Blackberry, a nonprofit organization dedicated to telling the untold stories of African American heroes to children. She has published beautifully illustrated children's books, including How High the Moon and Flying Free, a story about pioneering aviator Bessie Coleman. She married director Alexander Rockwell in 2003, and together they have 2 children. Karyn didn't just play a character we adored. She's building a legacy that teaches the next generation to dream bigger. Coming in at number 5, the man who got thrown out of the Banks house more times than anyone can count, DJ Jazzy Jeff, born Geoffrey Allen Towns. Born on January 22, 1965 in Philadelphia, Jeff was 25 years old when he started appearing as Jazz on the show. In 2026, he is 61 years old and looking like he hasn't aged a single day behind those signature sunglasses. Jazz was the loyal best friend who always showed up no matter what. He was the one who got tossed through the front door by Uncle Phil in the same recycled footage over and over again, and it made us laugh every single time. His unrequited crush on Hilary? Comedic gold. Jazz was the heart of the comedy, and Jeff played him to absolute perfection. But outside the Banks mansion, Jeff Towns is one of the most respected turntablists in music history. Together with Will Smith, he won the very first rap Grammy in 1989 for Parents Just Don't Understand, and their timeless summer anthem, Summertime, earned them another Grammy in 1992. After the duo parted ways musically, Jeff founded A Touch of Jazz, a production company in Philadelphia that helped develop artists like Jill Scott and Music Soul Child. He's still DJing around the world, releasing his beloved annual Summertime mixtape series and remaining one of Will Smith's closest friends in real life. Some friendships from the 90s fade, theirs never did. While some of our stars kept the spotlight burning bright, our next cast member chose a path of quiet dignity on the other side of the world. Let's find out where they are now. At number 6, the man whose dry wit could cut through any scene, Joseph Marcell. Born on August 18, 1948 in St. Lucia, in the Caribbean, Joseph was 42 years old when he began playing Geoffrey, the Banks family's beloved butler. In 2026, he is 77 years old and still commanding every room he walks into with that deep, magnificent voice. Geoffrey was the quiet hero of Fresh Prince. While everyone else was loud and chaotic, Geoffrey was the calm in the storm, armed with a perfectly timed one-liner that could silence the entire room. He was the guardian who kept the household together, and his loyalty to the Banks family mirrored something deeply human: the quiet, steady people in our lives who never ask for the spotlight but deserve it most. What many fans don't know is that Joseph Marcell is a classically trained Shakespearean actor. He is a member of the Royal Shakespeare Company and has performed on the stage of Shakespeare's Globe Theatre in London, including a celebrated turn as the lead in King Lear. In recent years, he appeared in Netflix's The Sandman in 2022, in the film Hellboy: The Crooked Man in 2024, and in the film The Thursday Murder Club in 2025. He also made a guest appearance as a character named Roman on Bel-Air Season 3. From a Caribbean island to the Globe Theatre to our living rooms, Joseph Marcell's journey is the stuff of dreams. And at number 7, the graceful woman who stepped into one of the most challenging roles in sitcom history, Daphne Maxwell Reid. Born on July 13, 1948 in New York City, Daphne was 45 years old when she joined the Fresh Prince in 1993 as the second Aunt Vivian. In 2026, she is 77 years old and embracing life with a quiet strength that is truly inspiring. Stepping into a role that another actress had already made iconic is one of the hardest things anyone can do in television. But Daphne brought her own gentle warmth to Aunt Viv, a steady, nurturing presence that held the Banks family together through the final 3 seasons. She made Aunt Viv feel like home, and for that, she deserves so much more recognition than she's ever received. Before Fresh Prince, Daphne was already a trailblazer. She was the first African-American woman to appear on the cover of Glamour magazine and the first African-American homecoming queen at Northwestern University. After the show, she and her husband, actor Tim Reid, co-founded New Millennium Studios in Petersburg, Virginia, one of the first major Black-owned film studios in the United States. She's also an accomplished photographer, designer, and cookbook author. She guest starred in Bel-Air in 2022, coming full circle with the franchise. Daphne Maxwell Reid didn't just play a role. She built an entire world behind the scenes, quietly, beautifully, and on her own terms. Before we go, there is one more person we need to talk about. And for this, we're going to put the numbers aside. Because this isn't about a ranking. This is about remembering someone who changed all of our lives. James Avery. Born on November 27, 1945, in Suffolk, Virginia, James was 44 years old when he first sat behind that desk as Judge Philip Banks, Uncle Phil. He was the beating heart of the Banks family, the father figure who was strict but fair, who could silence a room with a look, and who could make you feel safe with a single embrace. Uncle Phil wasn't just a character on television. For so many of us who grew up without a father, or with a complicated one, Uncle Phil was the dad we needed. He taught us that real strength isn't about being loud, it's about standing firm when it matters. He showed us that love can be tough and tender at the same time. And when he hugged Will in that heartbreaking scene about Will's absent father, he wasn't just hugging a character, he was hugging all of us. In 2013, James Avery left us at the age of 68. His co-star Alfonso Ribeiro called him a second father to me. Will Smith said, "Some of my greatest lessons in acting, in living, and in being a respectable human being came through James Avery." He trained at UC San Diego, Thurgood Marshall College, and served his country in the United States Navy during the Vietnam War. He was a classically trained actor, a poet, and the voice behind the iconic villain Shredder in the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated series. His career was vast, but his role as Uncle Phil will echo forever. They left us a beautiful and timeless legacy that feels like a warm hug every time we rewatch the show. And there you have it, my friends, the beautiful cast of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, 36 years later. Some of them conquered Hollywood, some of them chose quieter paths, and one of them left us far too soon. But together they gave us something no amount of time can take away, a feeling of home. Now I have 2 questions for you, and I really truly want to hear your answers. Question 1, looking back, how old were you when you first watched this masterpiece, and who were you watching it with? Share your precious memories in the comments. Let's build a time machine together. Question 2, here's a quick test to prove you're a real fan. Which moment hit you harder? Option A, Will's breakdown when his father leaves him again and Uncle Phil holds him tight? Or option B, Carlton's dance to Tom Jones' It's Not Unusual, the moment that launched 1,000 imitations. Comment A or B to prove you're a true fan. And don't forget to subscribe for more heartwarming and nostalgic journeys. Thank you for sitting with me today. Thank you for remembering. And thank you for keeping these memories alive. Until next time, stay golden.